Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of really long intros most of the time, but this one I just have to make really long because the context surrounding this is a lot more interesting than the video itself. Hi, Smart Alec here. I don't care enough to make this video look good. Um, I won't play unrelated footage, but this is gonna be definitely a more half-assed video. Roast me in the comments for, hey, it's half-assed. In fact, this one actually won't have a script, which is funny because usually people don't think I have a script, but I do. This time I actually won't. And I know that in the past, doing stuff like this has backfired with, like, the manga comment video, but I feel like this time is going to be a lot different because unlike there where I tried way too hard to be overly careful and specific for an hour and a half to the point where I just was repeating points over and over and over again to drill in the point that yes, here's context, and yet I didn't even show the content basically. I'm going to be a lot more efficient in this video, and I'm not gonna just dig up 1,000 fucking screenshots that'll be tedious as hell. So, another thing interesting, Quentin was a part of a little controversy involving shoving politics in his review, I think in 2018, actually, and it was one of the dumbest controversies I've seen, and despite being kind of annoyed with Quentin, I was siding with him. God damn, they were people were making him out of a molehill, essentially. He said, I fucking hate Trump in one video, and went on a weird rant, and then on another video he made like the most innocuous jab at JonTron that we've all seen probably a billion times by this point, hopefully. And eventually he got triggered on Twitter and said stupider stuff over time and was consistently baited into doing stuff. It's a stupid one. It's a stupid controversy, and a lot of people were just trying too hard to criticize him. In this video, I don't think I'll have to try very hard at all because what actually makes that controversy worse is that it was pretty obvious that I think everyone talking about it was kind of drama whoring and just getting to views, but they kind of dropped it well, after it wasn't getting as many views because he has the same problems now, except they're actually noticeable and worse. For the past few videos of his, they weren't just like little political inserts. They've been taking over some of his videos. His Rise of Skywalker review was very weirdly political in almost bizarre places, but this video, just the politics fucking ruins the video, and I don't, and once again, as I try to do with most of my political videos in the past, I'm gonna try to avoid being as partisan as I can, though no promises. What emphasis on no promises. Oh my god, though. Also, another thing interesting is like he's worse than Behind the Meme if you're into that weird ass meme supremacy shit. Oh god, this video is just pretty bad generally. One last funny tidbit before we actually start, because there's been way too many. So me and my friend were talking at 4 a.m. Like, I was watching the video around 3 a.m. and I basically went to my Discord server with him and said jokingly, let's bully Quentin and link this video. And I didn't even realize the post above, not 10 minutes before, was essentially was let's bully Quentin and posting the same link to the video. It was kind of fucking funny because we're on the same wavelength. In fact, this guy, um, he is he actually said this video was so bad that he considered doing a commentary video on it, like I'm doing right now. Unlike me, he doesn't do commentary, and the one time he did a genuine commentary was basically just me guiding him the whole time. And he hates commentary, so that's kind of funny. On to actual analysis, finally. Honestly, the first problem with this is that strange-ass title, The 2010s, A Decade of Bad Memes. Practically, though of course not literally, they were the only memes. I don't know, it's a weird title, but it does establish the negative tone that he's gonna have throughout it. The strangely negative tone, I might add.
Of course, time is just a construct invented by man to force rhythm and logic into a world of uneven chaos, so enjoy those first 4 or 5 days of optimism while you can, before you realize that everything's basically the same, your life still sucks, except now you're really tired of hearing jokes about hindsight.
Okay, keep in mind, this video he has is not just about memes, but the world surrounding it. So basically this, despite it being called a video about memes, he's also analyzing politics, but he said general, he was making it seem more general at first, and so it's kind of bothersome to hear just everything about politics. But don't worry, it's not just that he's political, it's how he's political and how maybe we should have both used the script, because let's just say his takes are quite hot. In fact, one thing that might be both ironic and kinda funny is that despite what I'm talking about being over 30 minutes long, this might be one of my shortest commentaries because there isn't too much to talk about. In other words, I'm going to be skipping around quite a bit. So, context. Ooh, tippy tap microphone.
Anyways, advice animals eventually evolved into the unpopular opinion puffin, which is a terrible meme, but is not the worst meme we're going to be talking about today. So the point of unpopular opinion puffin is that he looks all cute, he's waddling around like a baby taking his first steps, but at the same time, he's saying something inherently unpopular. Often editors would use this to insert opinions which were just like stupid and inoffensive and barely worth arguing with.
Peanut butter is gross. Leggings are not pants. Frozen sucks. Ranch dressing is absolutely disgusting.
The way that meme was used was like this.
I think that LGBT are among the least tolerant people, and that they project their hate onto people who disagree with their lifestyle.
Unpopular opinion time. Mocking something for not being offensive enough and then going straight to being offended by obvious jokes seems fucking dumb and like you're asking for it.
I think people need to stop pushing justice for Trayvon, because the evidence led to an acquittal that people won't take for an answer.
Why are you acting like that's a big deal, Quinton? This subject isn't as unpopular as it is controversial. Basing a conclusion off of a recent legal conclusion is about as logical as it gets, to be fair.
I think we should kill off all severely mentally and physically handicapped people. What's the point in letting them live if they cannot be productive members of society and their life is going to suck anyways? I think that war and genocide is beneficial for the rest of us because it keeps the human population down.
Somehow I feel like we peaked when they were talking about killing disabled people. This is just numb to me now.
You realize they were jokes, right? Did you even look at the cloak? I don't know what it's referencing, but it's obviously a media reference.
So advice animals are probably some sort of holy land in terms of the evolution of online internet humor, but it was in 2011 that we actually saw a series of memes that I recall being the first ones that I strongly loved more than I had any sorts of jokes on the internet before. To start us off, let's check up on a little Pop-Tart cat, just trying to find his way.
Skipping ahead.
Minion memes were sort of a secret miracle because for a few years they gave us a break from boomers making edits out of Peanuts comics. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Those Facebook comics where Snoopy is talking out loud and saying some stupid bullshit, and Lucy is being shunned by everyone for having a sex life.
Women have the right to control their own bodies.
If you controlled them, you wouldn't need abortions.
Not gonna lie, I'd shame any child that age having a sex life. Also, Linus, that was actually kind of funny.
Anyways, I guess the point I'm trying to make is that Minion memes bad, Joker memes bad.
Okay, I don't know if I missed this, but I watched the video multiple times and I don't really think he went into why the Joker was even bad. I don't know why.
2014 was also terrible, but not in a fun way. Gamergate happened, which was this ridiculous circus of targeted anger, which was based entirely on lies. But it birthed such an ever-present ideology that I still see YouTubers try and defend it like it was technically good. Like, I watched a YouTuber who said, yeah, Gamergate was all lies, it was just stuff people on 4chan made up to harass female video game journalists who just had very normal opinions. And then the dude ended the video by going like, but the important thing is that it was the first time the internet ever banded together to fight the social justice warriors and their moral policing. And I was like, what does that mean? You just said a bunch of buzzwords. That final sentence didn't say anything.
Democrat or Republican, it should be pretty obvious what that means. It means the internet banded together to prevent people like Quinton from getting offended at jokes and cancel culture type shit. Agree or not, it's not hard to understand what they're talking about. Swear to God, for every no bullshit, there's a Quinton.
Anyways, so after Gamergate, there was this new sect of men online who were bitter, they were angry, they were cynical, and they weren't going to be doing no Gundam dances.
Kind of like you.
Of course, time is just a construct invented by man to force rhythm and logic into a world of uneven chaos, so enjoy those first 4 or 5 days of optimism while you can, before you realize that everything's basically the same, your life still sucks, except now you're really tired of hearing jokes about hindsight.
Nitpicking back to evil memes.
And they said we need to start making our own new sets of memes. Meme number 1, we should start saying that we identify as attack helicopters. Joke number 2 still pending.
So that was a fucking lie.
Easily the most confusing point all video. Once again, oh my, Democrat or Republican, you know that Republicans made a lot of memes targeting SJWs. Do I have to, like, examples is too much. I don't want to just destroy my computer downloading all of 4chan to show you, or 8chan. Like, oh my god. Trigglypuff? Everything Ghostbusters. Oh wait, you know what? The best part is that Quinton rants for a while about one of the most famous examples, and yet he says still pending. You'll see in a bit. Oh my god. He talks about Pepe.
Who dragged a piece of pizza around. There was a Vine about some guy's shoes.
Aw, Jesus Christ, the memories of 8th grade are returning, full-fledged and full trauma. It's fucking terrible. Every time, fucking Vine, people say TikTok's bad. There's at least some originality on fucking TikTok. Like, oh my god. Just everything in math is, 21, 69, 420, 9 plus 10, 666. Ha ha. Ha, 25, 24, Sorry, I just pulled a Quinn and did a completely tangential side rant.
And that brings us to 2016. The official worst meme of 2016 was not started in 2016, but it was ruined in 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, Pepe the Frog. And they said we need to start making our own new sets of memes. Meme number 1, we should start saying that we identify as attack helicopters. Joke number 2 still pending. But his iconic imagery was later used by people who just wanted to spread them across the internet. This was a pretty wholesome thing. There was just something very relatable about this sad green frog, and people liked seeing it in a lot of different places. But then something happened. It seems a select few decided that Pepe had gone too mainstream, and they wanted to find a way to take him away from the normies. And so, shortly after this, Pepe began to be used overwhelmingly as a mascot for white nationalism.
Oh, hi, revisionist history. Here's the thing, that's a gross oversimplification. Most of it was made to be purposely offensive so that idiots would be, like you, would be tricked into actually thinking that its fucking hand symbol is racism when 4chan explicitly explained how you were falling for the trap as you guys were. At least some of you. Most of you probably were smarter than that. Also, you researched this death by association stuff for me and showed in your clip for no goddamn reason.
Specifically by those who were anti-Semitic and wanted to fight for a white ethno-state.
The hipster version of the neo-Nazi movement? It's Pepe's become kind of a symbol.
Why the heck would you show... Wait, what? That guy was fucking trampled, and you memed it, so, I don't really... Is he supposed to be a victim? I mean, I'm pretty sure that guy was just, like, saying it's symbolic. He didn't even get to finish the sentence. I don't fucking know what he's talking about. He might have denied what the reporter said, too, so this is just confused.
Reminds me a lot of the circle game.
No! He's not gonna... He isn't actually going there, is he?
So after a while, the alt-right also decided to start appropriating the circle game as their imagery, and I was so amazingly confused because the circle game and the game are the most innocent, non-political things in the world.
Maybe because it's not actually fucking political and only a fucking idiot like yourself would think it's political because you were fucking tricked by an obvious joke that spelled out its fucking plan that tricked you.
But I completely understand why they've tried to do this.
Because it's a fucking meme and it's not really alt-right. It's because it's a fucking meme because it's not alt-right because it's a fucking meme. No.
They want their ideals.
Quinton, are you actually going after this? I mean, people say SJWs don't exist anymore, but they're still at the point of parody where I genuinely cannot tell when they're joking or not sometimes. So, yes, Quinton is citing this as support for the alt-right. You know, the guy who was just resting his poor fucking hand on the shoulder for an awkward, unpleasant picture in an unpleasant costume who got fired because the parents thought it was a racist symbol and conveniently cropped out the picture where their son was doing the exact same fucking goddamn gesture. This is a situation on top of how dumb this already is to call it a racist symbol in the first place, given that it's the fucking okay sign that 4chan... The goal wasn't to spread racism. The goal was to show how stupid leftists were. And you're taking it up the butt. So they succeeded.
In plain sight, just out of the conscious mind's eye, passed around like rare trading cards. And by the time you catch on and notice, by the time you've seen what's really there, it's too late. You've already lost.
I really hope he's joking and his delivery is just almost as bad as mine. I mean, he's zooming in on a pre-existing statue, so he might be joking? I think so. I hope so. I really hope so, because his track record's been very extreme leftism.
The stupidest out of all of these weird dog whistling memes.
He's calling it a dog whistle. Okay, good start.
Is Kekistan. If you've never heard of Kekistan, it was a fake country that like people in this subset of online culture would jokingly say they were a part of. And the joke was that their flag was the Nazi flag. I've never understood the point of them doing this. Is it supposed to be them going like, haha, the left is so easily triggered, I bet they don't like the Nazi flag.
I mean, this is the dead meme episode, so here's some more dead memes. Anyways, how does Quinton fail to see the fucking irony here? Jesus Christ. The joke is that it isn't the Nazi flag, but it kinda looks like it. But the fact that you're getting offended by something that vaguely resembles it. Yeah, you fucking libtard, you got owned. That's how those jokes went. You're getting actually triggered by that. Oh my gosh. Honestly, I've wanted to see this clip for a while because it kind of encompasses everything wrong with a lot of the modern politics on the internet with the regards to the left side. The right side, everyone just kind of went in meltdown after they got way too cocky after Trump won, so they just went fucking insane. Meanwhile, the Democrats, a lot of them, not all of them obviously, their goal seems to be, oh, we can do what the Republicans did in 2016 and keep all the bad things, while also ironically being like, making fun of how they think they've owned us when they haven't. Meanwhile, as he's missing the joke, he kind of is unironically being quote-unquote owned as a quote-unquote libtard, yo. Good God, this is just kind of this lack of self-aware. It's just this episode's really tough to put into words because I'm just kind of. I mean, usually I'm baffled, but this is special. I feel like. Though Quinton seems to be dumber than most of the Democrats I've seen, it is a common thing with them these days where they basically just dismiss everything with sarcasm and avoid points and say, oh, he owned the libtards, and just say epic over and over and say how bad Republicans' memes are while they make equally bad memes that are equally dated.
I found a photo from VidCon 2016 of a bunch of people posing with the Kekistan flag, and I don't... the funny thing is, I know some people in this photo who are very outspokenly not Nazis, but I don't know what was going through their head when they posed for this. Like, what were they thinking? Like, posing with the Nazi flag to own the libs.
If you call it bad, they win. If you ignore it, they lose. If you're unfazed by it, they lose. If you're calling it the actual Nazi flag and trying to make fun of them for doing something as innocuous as that, they win. Quinton, you could have just easily let them win. I don't know. Maybe this is a minor point. Maybe this is a weaker point on my part. I think it might actually be a weaker point. Yeah, it is, definitely. Oh God.
Anyways, there's been this big movement in recent years to reappropriate Pepe from the literal neo-Nazis, and it seems like that's going somewhat okay. I really hope that they succeed, because I miss my boy.
Quentin, what the fuck is this meme look back? This is 2016. There's more to talk about, I'm sure. Oh my God. Why is it so politically driven? Politics was a big part of 2016, but everything happened that year. We are number one. Harambe. Everything's bad. Oh my God. Everything's amazing. Why didn't you talk about memes and Trump?
So, here's the thing. I fucking hate Trump. He embarrasses me every day. He makes us all look like backwards idiots, and frankly, the fact that he got elected means that we probably are all backwards idiots.
Talking about how he got elected via memes would have tied into this video's topic, your politics, and would have justified that position from earlier, which I think you still stand by. Why am I doing your left-wing meme propaganda video better than you are currently?
This brings us to 2017, or as I like to call it, the end of days.
Agreed. Content immediately fucking died this year.
That'll hold 'em all white.
At the start of 2017, an old Looney Tunes cartoon birthed a meme that would become known as Big Chungus. Big Chungus is a meme that, as far as I can tell, had a point originally. All the posters perceived him to have some assigned personality, just like all of the old advice animals. But with time, that basically entirely faded. Originally started out as a reference to an old Looney Tunes cartoon, but then it became an inside joke in a very small community, but then it became so overblown and widely posted everywhere that people got very annoyed by it and no one remembered what the joke was anymore. But it became such a phenomenon in that state that posting it started to be a reference to the fact that it was a widespread meme. The humor in the meme was that it was a meme despite not being funny. The reference had become that inherently meta.
Okay, that's a shockingly good analysis. He hit the nail on the head better than most Reddit tards.
This brings us to 2018, for which I only have one meme prepared to talk about. The meme to end all memes, or at least the idea of a meme actually being funny. So some of you who maybe have somehow never seen E before might be asking, wait, what's the joke? And the answer is that humanity is the joke. The utmost hubris behind this image, whoever crafted it, must have known every step of the way that they were creating something that could only be used for evil, and yet they kept going. This is a testament to our culture's limits, the very lines we shouldn't cross, yet we insist on doing every single time. E. A very brief present, the year 2019. Weirdly enough, this was the hardest year for me to find bad memes in. Maybe it's because it's a lot easier to tell which memes are bad and embarrassing from a distance, because as they say, hindsight is 2020. I think Baby Yoda is going to end up being a contender in the future. I feel like it's definitely going to evolve into our generation's minion memes. But in my search, I found one last meme, which is sort of perfect to end our discussions in, because it literally feels like a meme that could have been from 2009. So this is Nordic Gamer. He is the main character in a series that I can only describe as rage comics for incels.
Fuck you, normal fag-ass bitch motherfucker. Keep misusing the goddamn word incel to describe anyone who you are like, wah wah. Here, bitch. Here, neckbeard that hasn't lost their virginity despite being 23 and probably hasn't had a girlfriend either. Hey, you, me. Women actually talk to me? Isn't that shocking? No one talks to me except women. It's kind of weird, actually. But either way, can you, like, shut the fuck up and die, bitch? And I'm not around fucking angry. Fucking die. I've seen much worse videos. This was just kind of annoying because he just, like, I'm trying to click on a cute meme video and he keeps bringing uneducated politics in there and I can never tell what's a joke or what's just genuinely that misguided because Quinton's delivery is like mine and that it's awful. By the way, that last part was a joke. You are dumb if you cannot tell that last part was a joke with the ear rape. Let me guess, people will bitch about ear rape. Okay, if you do, I'll give you guys a formal apology video to start the new decade right. Okay, yeah, long story short, QuintonReviews is the no bullshit of the Democrats. Goodbye.